you're very involved with charitable work, and one of those projects is working in the Sierra Tarahumara. Tell us how you got involved in the work and what the work has looked like recently.
Well, I got involved through church, which we call the mission board.
Yeah.
So I have been now in mission board for 14 years. And that's one of the works where I definitely think where I got a call. Since a little boy, I was always interested to see where these Tarahumaras live.
Yeah.
If we would go for a picnic on a mountain, I would try to peek over the mountain to see if I could see some Tarahumara Indians.
Yeah.
So I didn't see him back there because I didn't know that they were still quite a bit further away. But then since we got into church, church had this mission board, and we were probably 4 years married until I became involved in mission. And since that, I have enjoyed it. And that's more or less how it started. So I had somebody who already wasn't there, and they were showing me some of the things, how to do them. And some of the things throughout the years are changing as well. We have to be open for changes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that you recently, I think the last week, had gone up to the Sierra. What was some of the stuff that you did on this most recent trip?
Yeah, this last weekend we were at 2 different places. We left here on Friday morning, and we got there around 4:30, I believe. So it was a long drive, a rough drive.
Oh, yeah.
And so what we do is we load usually quite a bit of food, beans and other things that they use in the house, and try to bring them a blanket. So the road in was, some part was highway, and some part was so steep that most people say you cannot drive without a 4-wheel drive, even though we did it without a 4-wheel drive. And so we went way into the mountains, and we had there, I believe, around 35 to 40 families who came for their food. We had church service there with them. And so we kind of prepare our own food out there. We sleep in almost like a cabin, just something where these missionaries sleep. Not as comfortable as home, but we love to go there and show them the love and tell them about Jesus Christ and tell them that there is things that can be changed and to do to get a better life. So that was Friday. Then Saturday we drove out, came around to another area, which by plane would take only around 3 to 5 minutes flight. Took us at least 3 hours out, plus another 2 hours in. So 5 hours instead of 5 minutes. So that's some of the reasons why we need a helicopter there. But
absolutely.
So that place there, we went to a missionary who's married. He is actually American. From a Beachy Amish church, started working here in the mountains. And as a young boy, he hiked around in the mountains, helping with medical things, and brought the gospel to these people. So after a while, he found that there was a Christian girl there, and so he got married to a Tarahumara lady. To a Tarahumara girl. So now he's married to a Tarahumara girl, and they're living in the mountains, as almost as poor or as general as they are. And so they try to fit themselves into their lifestyle. So they live there. They just barely got their Wi-Fi, which we helped set it up for some reason, so that we could have communication.
For sure.
And then they're teaching the Tarahumaras how to work as far as financial wise, how to do things, how to plant corn, how to save it up. It's a whole role of education that he's giving them. plus church, plus school. So it is a very interesting environment.
Yeah,
and he is an expert in birds. So he's teaching them how to raise chickens and how to get the pure breeds and all these unique things that he's teaching them.
Yeah.
So I find that as a man who is doing so much good things for those Tarahumaras, try to teach them a different lifestyle, but still living almost under the same style as they're living, so that the Tarahumaras feel like that everybody's on the same level. So he submits himself to the same level as they are, but still gives them enormous education.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you mentioned something about a clinic out there. Is that with him or somebody else runs a clinic?
Well, this friend, Jonathan, he is a paramedic. So he does, actually, he knows quite a bit of medical stuff. But then if he cannot do everything, then he would take the people to a clinic. And there's one clinic right in that place, which is run by Christian people from Colorado. From in the States. And that organization is one of the organizations that has won lots of rewards for their honesty, for their generosity, and how they help other people. So we are working with them also, not as much as with some other people, but yes, they know us, and if they need help, they will come out and they will let us know how we can get things organized or help them in different things. And that's where they're doing lots and lots of operations. When Tarahumaras should fall, break something. They even have their own planes, these carbon cubs which fly into remote areas, pick up these patients and bring them back to the clinic. So another thing that we're going to help them is to rebuild their airstrip.
Absolutely.
And so there's a lot of things that can be done out there.
And just thinking about just like how remote some of these places are and how difficult, like you were saying, that is to get to them, that necessity of
there's some places, for example, another clinic where we are planning to move to this summer. We're volunteering there to do a service out there for quite a while. And there was this one lady who gave birth and something went wrong, so they carried her for 1.5 hours plus another hour with a truck to get to a small airstrip where the plane could take him out. And this lady had lost so much blood that we still today call it a miracle from God that she survived. And so she was flown out to the hospital and she survived. So that's one of the things. Now, another thing by this other clinic where we're going to is one of the severe cases there is nutrition. It's not that these Tarahumaras don't have enough to eat, but many times the problems are that their nutrition isn't good enough. And so we have found lots of malnourished children out there. And so what I found so very interesting is that one of these doctors, he looked into the things that the government had tried to do. Government has tried to give them soya milk and other vitamins and so on. And these Tarahumaras, they are not up for this. They don't want this stuff. So he said, what can I do? And he looked into their pinole. The pinole is they're roasting the corn, they grind it, add water to it, and they drink that. So that every Tarahumara knows about pinole. That's a very traditional nutritious drink that they have. But it did not have enough vitamins and so on. So this doctor, he took that concept, turned it into something where he added vitamins and milk and so on. And now we can help these children.
Absolutely.
And one of the one time when I was back in the mountains, he told me about these malnourished children and what to look for. Yeah. So suddenly I saw one of these little children. It was a girl. She was back then, I think, 2 years old, 3 years old. And to me, it looked like something was wrong. So I ran to the doctor. I said, "Hey, doctor, come on, look. I want to show you this girl." So he came and he looked at this girl and he said, "Yes, this girl is in very, very bad condition. If we won't help her, this girl is going to live 2, maximum 3 more months." And that just broke my heart. I couldn't believe it. And I went home and I said, "We need to do something." So we made a machine now to make this pinole.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can add these vitamins to it. And one of my big excitements that I found 2 years later when I went to the mountain, the doctor comes walking with this girl and he said, "Do you remember this girl?" I said, "No, I don't." He said, "This is the one that you showed me that was in poor condition." She had round, shiny cheeks and was looking so happy. So that is one of the things that I love to do.